Hey everybody, it's Brad with the Big Family Homestead. I apologize in advance for the loud rumbly rumble sound that is happening as we go. Jonathan, who's right here, say hi Jonathan.
Hi.
And myself are on a mission. And first of all, we're going to need your help. So please don't click away from this video. This is actually going to be an interactive video. And what do you mean interactive, Brad? Well, I'm going to try out something new. YouTube has enabled us to do the poll data, P-O-L-L, polling data. And I've got some questions that I want to try to put down here and see what you guys think because, well, frankly, I kind of want to take the pulse of a couple different areas and also find out what you like and what you don't like, where you're at, where you think everybody else is at in terms of sort of the pulse of the nation and the world. So, well, first of all, Jonathan and I are out running, and we wanted to thank you for all of your advice on his truck. Take a look at this happy boy right here. He's already spent, what, about $250 on parts?
No, it's $380.
$380 on parts. However, these are all certified, coming to the house. We didn't have to go pick them. They're gonna work parts. So thank you very, very much in advance for what we hope to be is gonna be a next really, really cool 3 or 4 weeks of putting that truck back together. And it's a labor of love for him, I know. And it is for me too. And I'm glad to you know what was really cool? I gotta say, there was over 100 comments that were really, really, this, you need to do this, this, and this. And not one of you guys said get rid of the truck. Not one. And I was like, yes. And I know he was like,
Yes.
yes. Because we secretly really wanted to keep the truck and fix it up, but we're so poor that it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, how much money do you throw at the dang thing, right? So that's number one. Thank you for the help with the truck. Thank you for the advice. Now here's the other thing. Second point is this, and this is where we're going to start doing the polling data. I watch very few channels. Now the reason why I watch very few YouTube channels anymore is because we're constantly on the move and we're constantly creating our own content, and there's just frankly not much time to do that. So I only end up watching stuff that is either close friends of ours or something that is directly interesting to me. So for example, if I'm trying to build a rain catchment system, I'll go and study every rain catchment system I can. I'll take notes and then look at our plans and decide what works and what doesn't. Well, some of the channels that I've been watching lately, it's funny, and I want to know what you guys think too, have been gravitating towards the whole self-reliant preparedness kind of vein. Now, it seems to me that topics across the YouTube universe, they ebb and flow. Things come up and then they go away. World events happen, then they go away. Now, one of the topics I think I'm seeing a lot lately, and this is one of the polling questions, guys. Have you been noticing that a lot of people have been really, really, really pushing the self-reliant prepping mentality in that, not just that on a normal level, but on kind of a bigger, heftier level, like that there's a lot more people making these videos. There's a lot more people with a lot of urgency that are making these videos. Number one, do you see that? Because I do. So that's going to be a poll question that comes up here. Number two poll question to that. Do you think there's any validity to it outside of, I guess you could use the word hype, or there's just so much of it flooding into the YouTube world that people look at the news and they freak out and they go, oh my gosh, Chicken Little syndrome, the sky is falling. Or do you think that there's honestly something more impending behind it? And the reason why I ask that is because I personally, in my life, with my family, we've got 7 kids, right? you guys know our personal situation, and let's just say some days are easier than others, and we're dealing with special needs, and we're dealing with all kinds of stuff, but we feel a push, an urgency, an urging, if you will, to hurry up, tie up loose ends, get stuff done that you've been kind of putting off, get other things done that the what if situations of our lives, of our world, can be handled with more ease if it wasn't a, ooh, surprise, guess what? Do you guys feel that way? That's another poll question that will be up there. And I want to read all this, and I'm going to compile it all a little bit later and try to make some data sense of this. Now, I've agreed to be a part of a collaboration with Go for Green Living, and there's some other channels, and they're specifically doing a what if kind of scenario. And the reason why I'm bringing that up right now is basically because, going back to the first question or the second question, do you think that there's more of an urgency going on? Do you think that there's something that's bigger at play, and we in our spirits can feel it, and we know something's wrong right here in River City, folks? It starts with a P, and that rhymes with T, and that stands for pool, right? Right? Well, I got the spelling wrong, but the idea is right. And I don't know about you, but I've been kind of going around my house and around our property and looking at our preps, going, all right, I'm set for here, here, and here. Here's where my deficiencies are. And it's spilling over into your world. And what do you mean by that, Brad? Why is it spilling over into your world? Well, because I frankly am good to go. Our family's good to go if we had to survive and make it for a year or more, because we have enough storable this, storable that, where we could make it, and then we could get to growing seasons, and we can trade and barter and blah blah blah. But I'm just concerned that there's a lot of people out there who watch this channel and go, well, I can't do anything because, and then they'll fill in the reasons why they can't. And this is a concern for me and brings me to a new polling question. If you were honest, and remember, these are going to be completely anonymous. Nobody knows who polled what. It's just there's going to be numbers, right? If you were completely 100% honest, do you think you could make it 3 months, 6 months, a year, a week? In your current situation, and I'm not talking about just food, guys. Food is important, obviously. But without water, you're up the creek without a paddle. And I mean fast, right? I mean, you guys all know the prepper world. Put it in the polling down there. Because it is my opinion that everybody can do a little bit more, even if you don't have a lot of money. And our family is an example of having to figure out ways to make things materialize out of thin air. And so really that's it. I want to know the answer to those questions because I want to compile some data for you guys. And I think that we need to be more urgent about what's going on in the world. I mean, look around. What empire or country has lasted forever? Doesn't exist. Especially when they switch away from true weights and measures. And what do you mean by true weights and measures? When we went away from the gold standard as actual money and it just became vapor based on what anybody decided they wanted to say, this is worth that. Why? Because I said so. It's not actually based in anything concrete or actual money. All right, I'm gonna be done with my little micro rant. I'm gonna try to get with Christa today and do something a little more happy, fun. We've got some recipes planned, but please fill out, click on those poll data because and come back. Please come back in a day and look at the data. I want you to see these are the people. These are your peers, guys. These are the people that are, quote, in the preparedness movement for the most part. Because of the large part of our audience is people that who want to be self-reliant. A large part of our crowd is people that want to learn how to do things on their own, make stuff on their own. So these are not the people that are just completely going, this is an interesting video. And they normally do like crocheting videos. So there it is, folks. If you're not getting ready, please consider what you could do to make your life and other lives better. But please fill out those polls. Come back in a day or so. Check it out. I'm Brad with the Big Family Homestead. We'll probably have a recipe or something cool later today. But this has been a bee in my bonnet, and I hope that you will tolerate that bee. Not squash that bee. Bees are helpful. Don't squash the bee. Just consider what the bee has to communicate, right? Know what I'm saying? I'm going to look over at the camera now. This thing's always deceptive. I want to look at the red dot instead of the camera. Bye, guys.